Israel is the aggressor, not Iran. Every country has the right to defend itself. If you have nukes, you're less likely to get invaded. Why has North Korea not gotten invaded? Because it has nuclear weapons. Every country has the right to defend itself. Netanyahu was sabotaging diplomatic talks between the U.S. and Iran to come up with a new nuclear agreement. Well, really, what the new nuclear agreement was it was basically the deal that Obama signed in 2015 before Trump scrapped it because it was done by Obama. He was going to get rid of anything that Obama got done. It allowed for routine nuclear inspections. It reduced the amount of enriched uranium it would have to 3%. That's pretty much a glimpse of the Iranian nuclear deal in 2015. But as the U.S. and Ali Shamkhani, top negotiator, were about to go to the negotiating table to come up with a diplomatic solution, Israel deemed that no matter what happens, we are going to have a war. We are going to try to partake in regime change. His home was targeted by Israel. He was the top aide to the supreme leader of Iran, and he had expressed optimism about the prospect of improved relations, and this was after Trump signaled he was open to a deal. So the top negotiator of Iran for a nuclear deal, he was killed by Israel. Israel wants the war. They want the conflict. Shamkhani said, if the Americans at this, they say for sure we'll have better relations. It could lead to a better situation in the near future. The repackaged Obama-Iranian nuclear deal. So right as they're about to meet on Sunday, Israel attacked on that Friday. The New York Times journalist Farnaz Fasihi reported that Iranian officials viewed the assassination as Israel targeted in killing nuclear diplomacy with the U.S. 100%. Netanyahu is a war criminal. He has committed genocide in Palestine. They have blocked humanitarian aid to Palestinians. Top Democratic lawmakers exposed the warmongering of Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. There's no doubt Trump knew what was happening behind the scenes by Israel. The United States was notified of the attack by Israel. There's no doubt Donald Trump was not negotiating in good faith, and he was looking for a war to save his low approval ratings. So there's no doubt that this was all smoke and mirrors, that Donald Trump knew that Iran was going to be attacked by Israel and his buddy, Benjamin Netanyahu. The action order appears to deliberately undermine American diplomatic negotiations, says Andy Kim of New Jersey. Conflict should always be a last resort. Dewitt Williams, VP of Government Affairs, Center for International Policy, observed the overwhelming consensus among Democratic lawmakers is that Netanyahu is no doubt sabotaging diplomacy. The next step should be made clear: no U.S. help, no U.S. forces, no U.S. taxpayer funding Israel's war. Democrats have warned. The Congressional Progressive Caucus chair warned that he must not violate the Constitution. And already, after Israel's attacks, Donald Trump didn't stay neutral or anything. Donald Trump bombed Iran. He is literally an agent of Benjamin Netanyahu. We're going to negotiate, blah, blah, blah. We're going to come into good faith, blah, blah, blah. And Iran doesn't think it's getting targeted, or the U.S. as you know, serving as a mediator between Israel and Iran, is negotiating for a new deal, but behind the negotiators' back, Donald Trump and Netanyahu got them killed because they want war. They want to start a new war. They want regime change in Iran. This helps the war industry of America. This helps Israel. It won't surprise me if they want to commit genocide in Iran as well. Israel has started the war. Netanyahu is a criminal. Even his own country is on trial for bribery and another charge. I forgot what it was. Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that Iran wasn't close to building a nuclear weapon. This back in March. They didn't restart the nuclear weapons program. This was back in March. It says June, but this was back in March. The program hasn't been relaunched, according to... Oh, let's stop the wars!
Authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program. In the past year, we've seen an erosion of a decades-long taboo in Iran on discussing nuclear weapons in public, likely emboldening nuclear weapons advocates within Iran's decision-making apparatus. Iran's enriched uranium stockpile is at its highest levels and is unprecedented for a state without nuclear weapons.
Now, the report said that there is no clear evidence that that they are building this weapon, that they were going to launch it in this report on Iran's nuclear program. Now, keep in mind that for over 30 years they've been saying they're weeks away from a nuclear weapon. They're weeks away from a nuclear weapon. But as it turns out, they didn't have a nuclear weapon. 30 years after Netanyahu said in 1990, in 2013, whatever year it is, they're weeks away from a nuke. They're weeks from developing a nuclear weapon. They're lying. This is the new Iraq. No weapons of mass destruction. None. None in Iran. None in Iran. But you see, Israel was claiming imminent attack, a preventive attack, when you're not under imminent danger, is illegal under international law. Every country has a right to defend itself with nukes. These people are lying. These people wanted to start war. Israel did not want diplomacy between the U.S. and Iran. Donald Trump was not negotiating in good faith. He knew they were going to get assassinated. He got the intelligence from Israel. But Iran did not want an agreement. They did not want an agreement. Deal, no deal, they were not going to risk it. That's why the top negotiator got assassinated. That's why they bombed the nuclear facilities. Iran is claiming Israel is claiming they have the nuclear weapon. They have the nuclear weapon. Another pretext to start another war. Israel's the only country that doesn't have to go through all these nuclear inspections in their country. I wonder why.